Good morning. It's Jeffrey Howells Carpet Cleaning here, and what we are doing for cleaning a house, I think it was a rental that's going up. They're trying to get rid of, and obviously in a rental house, the tenants tend not to really care about anything, and as you can see, everything is pretty much trashed here. Downstairs in the basement where we are is the main area that they're concerned about. It does reek down here of cat urine all over the place. And they tend to think that because it was cat, that it's probably just litter box stuff that's scattered all over the place. And just looking around, I see there's tons and tons of debris. I mean, this could potentially be, 2 or 3 Kirby bag loads of debris. We're just going to go through and get as much of it out as possible. But what we're going to do is that we're going to vacuum up as much as we possibly can. And then I'm going to go ahead and get our fogger and get a good pet enzyme cleaner in there. And I am going to spray absolutely everything, every room, along the walls, the baseboards, the carpeting, everywhere. And then I'm probably going to go break to grab some lunch and just let this stuff dwell in here for a good 45 minutes or so, or an hour, however long we decide to take lunch, and then we'll come back. We'll do the application of our pre-spray that we're going to use, and then we will definitely go ahead and CRB this place. Get as much of the urine and stuff out of the carpeting with the peroxide-based cleaner, and then steam it out, and then at that point we'll elect whether or not we want to come back and do a post-treatment of the deodorizer. So it's pretty much playing it by ear and figuring out how severely we need to treat everything. But at the moment, that's going to be the game plan that I've kind of, just walking around and assessing things. Those are the steps that I'm going to take. All right, a little chat about pre-vacuum. I actually spent a couple hours down here just pre-vacuuming because there was so much debris. This right here is about 3 canisters worth, and judging by the weight, about 3 canisters is about 1 Kirby bag, maybe 3 or 4, just because the bag seems to compress the debris quite a bit more, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the types of debris that was coming out. So coming through this whole place, we probably burned through about 3 Kirby bags, just picking up tons and tons of debris. And then I noticed that, oh look, they got a couple of vacuums. Now, this place just had so much debris, and your vacuum cleaners, it's like if you have the vacuums, you would probably benefit greatly by actually using them. I don't know if this is the tenant's vacuums or if this is the owner's vacuum cleaners. I don't know. It seems like if they had something like that, they would probably be using it. So I'm guessing they're probably belong to the owner. But anyways, like what I was saying about the types of debris, the Kirby definitely tends to cause more vibration on the carpets when you're cleaning. So on the initial clean, what I've noticed on shag carpets, and I've been doing more and more lately, typically what you would do is you turn on the vacuum cleaner and you would begin moving it down until you hear it make contact on the carpet with the beater bar, and then you would click down one more time, and that's pretty much your sweet spot. I've noticed that sometimes in areas that are very heavily debris, like in here, and there is debris all over the floor, ranging from sand and dust in the carpet to torn carpet piling due to cats or animals in the house or whatever. When it first makes that contact on the floor, it's kind of easier to pick up more of the heavier debris at that point, because you've got more clearance on the floor. so you're able to pick stuff up easier in the vacuum cleaner. And then also I was getting my vacuum cleaner and belts breaking and stuff jammed up so much I just took that bottom part off, which does help to seal the air suction. So normally you wouldn't take that off, but I did in this case. So after you go over and you do the initial vacuum, I found that if you, okay, let's lower it one more time and then go more towards the sand and debris that's buried deeper into the carpeting. And that really seemed to do the trick. And then as far as the Hoover and canister vacuums go, I have no idea. I did notice that you somewhat can adjust the height from the Hoover. And of course it was set to the wrong height. So I readjusted it and went back over all the carpeting, and I would say I pulled out another equivalent of a Kirby bag going through all the rooms and the hallways and stuff again. So the Kirby went from, picked up about 3 bags, and then the Hoover probably picked up an additional bag going back over. So the Kirby obviously is 3 times more effective, but there's probably more, just because you can adjust the height and do a few more things with it a little bit easier. But anyways, I thought that was pretty interesting with the debris that it was able to pull out compared to what the Kirby pulled out. And in conjunction, I would say that these carpets are a lot cleaner than what they were. A lot of the odor issue is taken care of, so I believe everything that is still odor here is probably going to be in combination between the baseboards, probably absorb some of the odor in the walls and in the carpeting. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and mix up some Kill Odor Plus that we got here for pet odor smells and all that sort of good stuff. And then we are going to use our fogger and we're going to distribute it all over the place. Okay, so throughout this place I probably use about 1.5 gallons throughout the entire area. And what I did is I did a very light misting along pretty much everywhere. In areas that look like they're probably urine or whatever sprayed by cats, I made sure, to put a little bit more severe areas. And so we laid it down pretty hard on this area here. I don't know what it is. I know there's some cat spots over here. We laid it down there. Pretty much did all walls, all corners, blew off tons of cobwebs off the wall. So that will add a little bit more of a wow factor to the customer when they come down and take a look at it. This area in here got hit real heavily because you can see that's probably just a lot of cat spray there. Again in here, all walls, everything. Then we're going to bedroom there, same thing, carpeting everywhere. And you can see back here, cats went nuts. Sprayed this pretty heavily in there. So now we are going to go grab something to eat and just let this Kill Odor Plus pet stuff cleaner just kind of sit here, dwell on the carpeting, and kill a lot of this smell. Just completed vacuuming the stairways here with our little pet purpose devil hand vac, pretty much. Now, one thing that was really interesting that I didn't realize is that about 2 of these canisters here equals about 1 canister of the Hoover vac. So that there just kind of blew my mind as far as the amounts of debris it picks up. And that this thing is picking up just as much as that Hoover vacuum cleaner, which is absolutely amazing. I had no idea that this little tiny hand vac would do that, but I don't particularly care for it because it's not that great of a vacuum, but it seems to work. Alright, I'm missing a Kirby bag, but we did fill up another Kirby bag, so we got 1 completely full one, well actually 2 completely full, 1 half, and then about 2 to 3 of these canisters completely full equals about another Kirby bag. So yeah, you can see there's quite a bit of debris in there. Have we gone ahead and steam cleaned? Obviously all this stuff would have turned to mud. Truck may not have been able to get it out, and everything that's in there that's causing odors would continue causing odors after the initial cleaning. But chemistry wise, what we got down there is polyester carpeting. So what we're going to be using is Commercial Magic by Vacaway, but we're also going to be putting in some peroxide, which is the detonator part of the blast combo by Vacaway. And what that will do is that will attack the any lingering odors and help to break down urine and that sort of stuff. So the peroxide is really good with that, and in combination with the Commercial Magic, which helps to break water tension and all that good stuff having to do with the oil loving absorbing nature of polyester carpeting, and it'll just help to get it much more cleaner just by, you know, changing up the chemistry a little bit. In fact, we use a similar combo all the time. However, we're not always dealing with nasty burnt out polyester, although it's becoming more and more of a thing nowadays. So we're going through a bit more of the Commercial Magic and having to up our prices when we're using it, because it is a higher quality product. It requires a bit more chemistry than just a typical rinse with a typical traffic lane cleaner. So what we're going to do is that it will be settling down there with the fogger. We put down probably about 1.5 gallons of Kill Odor Plus down there just to help kill odors and stuff along baseboards, walls, carpeting, and all that stuff. We'll let it sit down there for about an hour, 45 minutes. We'll go grab some lunch. And then we also made up some of our pre-spray. It's sitting down there and ready to go. So when we come back, we'll grab our sprayer and our hose, and we got our CRB downstairs, so we will go ahead and CRB everything room by room as we pre-spray. I did run the CRB over a section just to see how much debris came out, and hardly anything came out, so I believe that we did a very good thorough vacuum to get as much out as we possibly can. And as you can see, that kind of testifies to it. So if we got about, you know, 6, 7, 8 of those little trash cans of just dirt and debris out of there. Look at how nasty that stuff is, and just imagine what that would do if it got wet. It would make a huge mess. And I attribute much of that to the odors that we were smelling, because I don't smell nearly as heavily as I did before. Get all that dust out of there. And it's amazing, you know, your kids go to school, wonderful public education that they're getting, and they're always getting sick. And why are they getting sick? Because kids are coming to school sick and making them sick. Why? Because they're living in these conditions, which is pretty sad. But that's the reality of which we live. Alright, finally you guys, everything in here smells much better. However, I believe we did disturb something that's in the the hallway here because it smells not terrible, but I can definitely smell it. Everything else, there's really no odor, but I'm going to go ahead and post-treat again with the Kill Odor Plus, just to get that down on the carpet, and not terribly heavy, but just enough, you know, to give it a good dose so that it can just sit and dwell in here for a day or so, or however long it will take for the carpets to dry. So that's carpet cleaning out here, and I haven't picked a title yet for what I'm going to do this video. Let's do carpet cleaning pet stains Happy Valley or something like that. Now the reason I picked that is because if you went to Yelp or something like that and you type in carpet cleaning, it'll prompt you for carpet cleaning pet stands, which is an index that it already has in there, indicating that people have already been searching for carpet cleaning pet stains. So we're going to go ahead and do that for the Happy Valley area, because we love getting carpet cleaning up here in Happy Valley. Not just because we live up here, but they're pretty decent sized homes for the most part. Pretty decent living conditions that people like to keep their things kind of up kept and everything, so it's not terribly difficult cleaning situations. However, yeah, this one is a wild card. But anyways, carpet cleaning pet stains Happy Valley. Have a nice day, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and maybe you picked out a couple things that you might be able to apply to your own cleaning. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the space below, and I will address those to the best of my knowledge. And if I do not know something, I know where to find the answer.